So first thing you're going to want to do is to make sure you have Node installed. We're going to use React to create this application. So it'll be a progressive web application. You could use it on desktop and mobile. It's going to be optimized for both. So you want to make sure you have Node installed. There's a couple different ways you could do it. If I'm going to do it on Mac. If you're not on Mac, you could come over to nodejs.org and you could download it for the operating system that you're on. If you want to check to see if you have it installed, you can do node-v. If you do have it installed, great. If you're on Mac and you don't want to download it from the website, you could always do sudo apt get install node.js npm. That'll install it for you. And then you can verify by running node-v. Once you have it installed, we're going to go ahead and create the application. So let's see where we're at. Just on my main library, so let's cd into our desktop. We're going to build it there. And then let's make a new directory, and let's call it GPT. Let's cd into that directory. And then once you have Node installed, you also have npx. So we're going to go ahead and do npx create React app, and then whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call mine GPT app. It's going to build it for you. Depending on your operating system, this could take some time. Just wait it out, wait for it to install. Awesome, now that we have successfully created our React application with npx, we're going to go ahead and open that application. So cd into your directory, whatever you called it, mine's GPT app. And then you can open it with whatever text editor you like. I like VS Code, Visual Studio Code. I'll create another video to set up your environment if you haven't done this, and we'll link to that. But let's go ahead and open it. Great. Now that we have our project open, let's go ahead and make sure that npm installed everything it needed to. So we'll just go ahead and run npm install just to make sure. Everything looks good. Make sure you can see this. It's not getting cut off. There you go. You don't really have to worry about those severity vulnerabilities right now. You can fix it later if you want to, but for the moment, just move forward. So everything installed successfully. So if you look at your README, you can see the commands. So to get this started, you just run npm start. And it just opened it on my other Google Chrome window. All right, here's our app. And it's telling us to edit app.js and save to reload. And that's exactly what we'll do. So we're going to come back over here to VS Code. Look at your app.js. This is the code that it wants you to edit. So if you put hi there and you just save it, it automatically refreshes and reloads. So there's hi. Just going to move this over here for now. Okay. Now I actually already have a application set up. So to make this really quick, I'll show you what I did, and then you guys can follow along. I'll also link to my GitHub so you can download the repository if you want to. Yeah. So we need Axios in order for our application to communicate with our API that is going to be running and talking to OpenAI. So npm install Axios. Awesome, we got it. Okay, so we also are going to do use state, use effect, and use reference. So that way we can keep track of the state that our user has sent messages and has received chats and the conversation between them. Okay, so we're basically going to get rid of all of this. We're still going to be using this function.app, but we're going to be changing a lot of stuff. So first things first, let's go ahead and import what we need. So we're going to import from React, we need use state, use effect, and use reference. We need Axios, and we need a logo, which I'm going to include here. You don't necessarily need this logo, so if you don't want it, you can take it out, just edit the code later, but I'm putting it in there because I like it. So, okay. So we need our logo, and then we're going to need some variables, some constants. So we need our question, we need the questions that the ChatGPT has responded to, so our chat history. We need to know when our ChatGPT is processing the request. So we're going to have a question, a chat history is processing, and then we have a chat container and a text area, and that's so we can style the conversation. Okay, and then we're going, I don't know why I said it like that. So we're going to have a chat form where the user will see the conversation, and then there will be a text box where they can submit a question, and then a submit button. So we're going to need a handle submit and some use effect. So to make sure you don't get too bored, I'm just going to go ahead and include the styles for us that I already styled to make this chat container look how I want it to. You can change it how you want to, but I'm going to include them here. If you can't follow along, I can make another video going more in depth, but this one's just to get you rolling. So those are just the styles. Go up here, explain what we're doing. This is your bearer token, which now, of course, I'm going to have to change because this is the one that I have in production right now. This is what you get from OpenAI, so ChatGPT. So you'll need to go over and open an account. I'll show you that shortly, but let's just go ahead and explain what this code is doing first. So we have a chat form, right? And we have a handle submit, and we have a submit button. So this event right here, we're preventing the default because the handle submit in the form, when you would send it originally, it would post to that form when we're actually just trying to post to our function and not submit the form to itself. So we're going to prevent the default event of that form. Your user message, the role user, the content question, this comes from ChatGPT. This is what you are going to be like, basically like sending your role to the model to tell them what you are, like what you're trying to accomplish here. Your request data, so this is the model that we're using. We're using ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo. It's the fastest one out right now for like the public to use. There's GPT-4, but it seems a little convoluted, and I'm not exactly sure how long you need to be on the wait list before you get access for that. This is your Axios, so this is your API request right here. This is the bearer token. I'll show you where you get that from OpenAI. This one's not going to work because I'm going to deactivate it after this video, so it won't be good anymore. Also, once OpenAI notices that you have one of these bearer tokens in the public, so like if you have it on a repo that's not private, or you don't, hide your API keys in a way, they'll deactivate it for you. So if your application ever stops working and it says that the authentication failed, go change your bearer token. All right, so then we have our bot message. So this is also from OpenAI, their API documentation. We're giving our bot the role of assistant. And then here, these are these other variables that we're setting up here, and the chat history that we're grabbing. Here's those styles that I was talking about. That really just makes it look like professional and kind of like an actual ChatBot, I guess. Okay, now let's do the return. So this is what's actually shown when you render the view of the app right here inside this return. Since I've already done it, I'm just going to paste it right here, and we'll show you what we're doing. So we have a class name of container, and then we're styling it with the styles.container. That was set up here in these styles, right? So we have a style of container, blah, 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 blah. So you set your class name, and then you style it. Here's that logo we imported from logo. This one's coming from .logo PNG. So you'll need to put a like logo 512.png there, like right here. Whoops. Yeah, okay, perfect. Don't replace it. Don't replace it. So this is the logo, right? If you don't have a logo, you could just like grab this one and throw it down there if you want to. I wanted to use my logo, so that's why that's there. All right, so let's look at this return. You have your chat history and your message index, blah, 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 blah. So this is an array that you're mapping through, so you can look at the entire chat history of the chat responses and then the messages that the user sent, and then you have them like user message, chat message, user message, chat message. So it's almost like a for loop, kind of. You're like looping through them. You're mapping through them so they're in a direct order. This is processing bot message. This is showing the user that once they click the submit button, OpenAI has received your request and is processing your question. That way they have something to look at while they're waiting. Sometimes it takes a little while, like 10 seconds sometimes. And then here's our button and our send to GPT. That all looks good. So let's go ahead and start it. So npm start. And there we go. Great. So now that we've built the chatbot, let me show you where you can get these keys from. So you're going to want to come over here to OpenAI. So come to OpenAI, and you're going to create an account, and then you're going to view your API keys. Just to show, it does cost money. Let me just show you how much I've used. I've used 6 cents, right? So 6 cents this month, 30 cents last month. And I have hit this a bunch of times. So 36 cents for 2 months of access, I'll take it. All right, so what you do here is when you go over to API keys, view API keys, you'll see your old API keys, and then you just click create new secret key, and that will generate a new secret key for you. Remove key, edit key. I should remove that one, that other one. So yeah, so click create a new secret key, copy it, paste it, and put it right here, and you'll be good to go.